Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and with me today is Luke, and we are going to talk about how we reinvented our D2L Brightspace from the inside out, and we broke a lot of barriers in doing that. I work at the American College of Financial Services as an assistant provost, and Luke is a senior implementation consultant with D2L. Luke and I've had a lot of conversations over the last few months, and one of the themes that we've talked about is how the LMS really is like a house. It provides a structure for our students, but it also supports their educational lives. The American College of Financial Services is a little different than some other institutions. We do offer undergraduate and graduate certifications and designations, as well as a master's degree in financial planning. And we've been doing this for about 100 years. Historically, we have offered correspondence education, but made the shift to distance learning a few years ago. Our D2L environment was designed in a way that made sense for how we used to do things, but that wasn't sustainable for distance learning. And our faculty are a lot like the faculty elsewhere. They are industry experts for us in the financial and insurance sectors. But like many career individuals who turn to faculty, they're not experts at instruction and pedagogy. So while this presents challenges related to instructional methodologies and design, it also leads to high quality content and instruction. So we're going to take you on a short journey today. We're going to walk you through our current house, right? That's some of the challenges that we faced, the things that really led us to doing this complete rebuild of our D2L Brightspace environment. Then we're going to dive into the renovation process and the changes and enhancements that we made. And we'll also explore a few things in our new updated environment and share some takeaways from our experience. Our organizational hierarchy was designed when we moved to D2L about 5 years ago, and it was based on the needs of the college at that time. Well, as we've expanded programs, designations, and other offerings, the hierarchy wasn't updated in a consistent manner, and that resulted in somewhat of a piecemeal approach. We had some courses attached to incorrect parents or templates and others that were attached to two simultaneously. The hierarchy also didn't really clearly delineate between credit and non-credit programs and courses. Historically, our course content and tests have been tied very closely to textbooks. As a result, when a new textbook edition was released, we've had to make changes throughout an entire course. Due to the nature of our final exams and the certification and designation exams, these updates also meant a new version of the final exam had to be designed. Well, and our classes are in the financial industry where there's new laws and regulations regularly. And guess what? That means additional updates to courses and those associated exams. And I am sure you're aware that certification and designation exams are not always completed during the time of an academic course, which means students have an extended period of time where the exam is available. And this results in one class with many masters. Every time we made changes, because of how things were designed, we needed a new version of the course. Every delivery method also got a new version of the course. One of the other challenges within our organizational hierarchy and structure was naming conventions. The majority of institutions I've worked at have had a course naming that was prefix, course number, term, etc. And it was pretty well spelled out and easy to decipher. Well, while we do have the prefix and the number, we also have a version number, the V2308 here, and followed by the delivery method, in this case, ST. The last two sets of numbers and codes are associated with the term and course section. You are probably wondering how we keep it straight. Well, I'll let you in on a secret. We have a handful of people that keep it straight, and everyone else just asks the handful that know. You can imagine that looking for classes inside the LMS can be a little bit entertaining sometimes. When we set up the Brightspace LMS initially, the college opted to not use Holding Tank to integrate and instead decided to integrate with the PeopleSoft SIS using APIs. Everything from course offering to section creation to enrollment was done with APIs. In addition, we've managed all of our course content copying and changing of content via APIs. Remember those multiple courses and masters and versions I mentioned? Well, Each of those has to be mapped correctly and input into the system to ensure that the API copies the right content from the right master and version. Student access was also managed via APIs, not just enrolling students in a course, but actually gating the content so that certain modules were visible or not visible, and all of that was done via APIs. And this results in students having multiple roles assigned. As you can, as you can imagine, there's a little bit of customization chaos sometimes. Because speaking of those multiple student roles, well, we had quite a few of them: pre-read only, pre-start, read only, and student, where they actually got to see the whole course. Additionally, we had 22 other roles like operations, administrator, instructor, alternate instructor, moderators or TA, and more. These additional roles created more chaos, and we ended up with some areas having too much access, others needing more access. And at one point, students didn't have permission to do something that we thought was pretty important: printing and downloading information from their classes. So yes, we fixed that as soon as we realized what was happening, but you can see how that may have happened with all of the roles we had. Customization in courses is extremely important, but it can be a logistical nightmare. With us, we had different navigation bars in different courses and programs. Courses that were delivered with live sessions had Zoom, but those that were asynchronous without a live session didn't have access to Zoom. Course homepages varied between classes and departments, meaning that there were lots of changes in themes and homepage templates anytime something major changed in the college. Some courses named things in modules, others in week, others in units. And then the grade book. So prior to joining the American College, I had taught for 10 years as a faculty member in the D2L Brightspace LMS and had an additional 4 years overseeing the administration of it. I truly thought that there were a couple of things I was really good with and that I had mastered, especially the grade book. After designing many for every semester, you get pretty good. I got to tell you though, I was wrong about the grade book. After joining the American College, I learned about formula-based grade books, categories, and items. We use the formula-based gradebooks extensively, had more than 5 custom columns in every course gradebook, including the creation of a custom final exam column. So that adjusted final grade or calculated final grade column, we didn't actually use that. Now, the reason we did this is so the APIs work to alert the student information system that a student met requirements for their final exam or their designation exam, and then again to trigger sending final course grades to the student information system. These are absolutely great reasons to use it. But let me tell you, there was a very steep learning curve for me with gradebooks when I joined the American College. Needless to say, I'm willing to say again that I'm confident I've mastered the gradebook in Brightspace. Our course content presentation was similar to what you might expect in a synchronous online course: textbook readings, live sessions, slide decks, and videos. And while this is all very standard, this does lead to minimal opportunities for student interaction, especially in asynchronous courses where live sessions aren't used. I will say that our students regularly had to read hundreds of pages each week, and that in many cases, those discussions, while present, may not have been as interactive as you or I might expect. And all of that is simply a holdover from those many years we spent with correspondence instruction. It's not a bad thing. It's just a challenge that we really did want to address, especially when you're in LMS and everything just looks like a long list of or a to-do list of things. Over the years, I've taken more than 50 credit hours of online courses myself. And really, I gotta say, today's world, I expect to get a lot more than a list of things to do and reading and some slide decks. Students also crave those types of interactive elements that were not present in our courses. But I ended this one with videos because I must say that something we have done exceptionally well are the videos in our courses. In 2023, we had 8.9 million minutes of video content watched. That's 148,000 hours. And in case you're wondering, it's more than 6,000 days of video content watched by our students in 2023. Well, 90% of the videos that were started, the student watched at least 50% of the way through, which is pretty amazing, given that some of those videos were a little bit longer than the 8 to 10-minute range where you tend to keep attention in academic courses. 75% of those videos that were watched, they actually watched 100% of video, entire video, regardless of how long the video might have been. So looking at more recent information, January to May of 2024, we're almost at 4 million minutes watched, and we are on track to surpass the number of minutes watched from last year. Also, this year, 85% of the plays that started, students watched 100% of the video. I don't know if that's going to stick, that track will stick around for the rest of the year, but I am eager to find out. Now that you understand some of the challenges, we really want to shift the focus onto the renovation itself. So where do we start? What do we tackle first? Content presentation, organization structure, roles, permissions, all of it. With any renovation, there's always that one must have. And for us, it's data. We leverage data as much or more than any institution I've worked with previously. So making sure we could still get all the data points we needed was key. Really, what about a new LMS? We thought about it. Sometimes getting others on board can be hard, especially when they have one mindset, such as, well, the LMS can't do something. And then additionally, what about the features in the LMS that we may not have been leveraging as an organization? Ultimately, D2L already had solutions for many of our challenges, and the stakeholders in the college believed in its abilities. So we decided to do a full renovation of the LMS by doing a new implementation with D2L. Now I'm going to turn it over to Luke to talk about the process of the renovation.
Thanks so much. The process of the renovation really started with involving the experts. We had many different team members join from the D2L side that wanted to get involved and help out with this. It first started with our D2L solution engineers. The solution engineers have a focus to fully understand what everyone is trying to do with their LMS and really find solutions for that. A lot of this started with the student-driven study quizzes, having students determine what they would like to study and have your quiz tool accommodate this and provide the solution was one less challenge to solve for. Next, that comes from the solution engineers was also the enhanced implementation package. So the solution engineers recommendation is to find the best fit for every single client. And so they recommended the enhanced implementation package, which came with a good amount of consultation hours, private training hours for both admins and instructional designers to help with the understanding and breaking down any misconceptions. A learning strategy consultant was assigned to consult on change management initiatives to go over how best to accommodate this change for the college. A data consultant was added to go over advanced custom data reporting, and finally, a number of hours with our learning services team was included to uplift courses further and complete some of the crucial course content enhancements and updates. As well, with the implementation came myself, the implementation project lead, and with that came a lot of implementation consulting. I would walk through all the early and most need-to-know setup and configuration of the system. We look at the current system, the new system, recommendations on improvements, and tangible real-life examples. We provide overviews and any and all tools and features. We provide best practices, examples of what other successful clients have done in similar circumstances. And that's just a few things to name. Next came the LAM services. So this is a learning administration manager. So having a LAM on your team is like having a dedicated D2L superhero admin. This engagement was very well timed. If any organization is in need of an admin, the LAM services can step in at any point to accomplish this. So both myself and the LAM would always align on all topics and onboarding. We would brainstorm together and come up with the best recommendations possible. As part of the implementation, I would walk through everything in Brightspace, the configuration, the setup, and the LAM would attend all these sessions, take what we went over and complete this work and setup for the college. Because an LMS admin was missing at the college, more than 80% of the work was completed by the LAM. The Lamb set up the entire org structure and dug deep to find answers to any and all questions needed. Next, after the renovation process comes the transformation. So this is the exciting part. This is when we see a lot of those transformations happening. The first transformation would be the org structure. So having a solid org structure and hierarchy is the foundation for everything else. With that, we did look at creating 2 custom org unit levels, helping to accommodate the current structure, and found a home for all org units. The first custom level that you see separated the training, the academics, and the learning innovation levels. This provides accurate reporting for these overarching areas of the college. Secondly, you can see the next custom level, which helped organize everything further, allowing for more specific reporting where the college needed it most. After that transformation came the SIS integration. So moving away from having APIs to many of the already available native Brightspace tools was a big help. Also deciding that both CSV and APIs can be used in tandem was key to take advantage of both strengths. D2L bulk tools are available, so going over how to properly use them and properly copy content again removed the need for multiple APIs and involving multiple teams to complete simple Brightspace tasks. Controlling students' access and using the Brightspace native tools available and eliminating the many role switches improved the student's experience and really prevented that fractured learner journey. Next came the infrastructure and the roles. So keeping the amount of custom roles to a minimum also removed duplicates and unneeded extras, as well as cut down on the amount of roles needed to be managed for the admins. Condensing duplicate master courses, or the shells, and eliminating multiple of the same copies helped clean up the system further. In the previous system, the master courses grew to over 250 for only 65 courses. Having one source of truth, one master course shell helped with management and removing any clutter in the new system. Next came the training. So with implementation, it includes a wealth of training engagements. As the implementation project lead, I would walk through all setup, configuration, and onboarding of the most important system tools, features, and customization so that the new system can work the best for the college the way they want it to work. Additional engagements, including the certificate training, which is a 3-course certificate program designed asynchronously to provide a full overview of everything an instructor will need to know to design, create, and run a course. The guided training is another self-paced training designed to fit into any schedule and allow you to get a basic overview of Brightspace and course creation. Private training pairs the college up with a dedicated private trainer to provide an in-depth overview of all admin, faculty, and instructional design tools and features. As well as all the previously stated training, we can dive into detail with anything in Brightspace. So if more customization or more custom overview is required, we can accommodate this. 2 examples include the Insights dashboard. So getting a full overview of the brand new custom reporting tool helped confirm that the org structure changes improved the reporting. The Manager dashboard set of tools. This is mostly a corporate tool. However, we repurpose this to provide automated enrollment, utilizing user attributes to have focused training for specific groups of students. All of these types of training offerings were utilized in this implementation project, making sure the entire college was involved and well informed about how to use Brightspace the best. Lastly was safeguards. So with the new system, we had to make sure that safeguards were put in place. So these really included paying close attention to who received which roles with the correct appropriate permissions at the very start. Implementing the structure and hierarchy to prevent any lost courses, again, improving the organization of the system and the reporting within it. If a Brightspace native tool existed and was able to be automated, utilizing this instead of relying on APIs, saving many additional teams time and management needs. Having only one true source course shell instead of multiple prevented confusion and helped with the management further. Consistent and easy to manage homepages, themes, and nav bars. This greatly cuts down the admin and management time needed for simple updates. It also allowed for a more unified experience for the students. allowing for greater knowledge and training before providing system access. This helped remove any misconceptions about the system and provide more knowledge and clarity.
So now I just want to take a couple of minutes and show you some before and after. This was our previous nav bar. You can see very direct buttons on the top, which is actually a great thing. But then we have more with a drop down, and then we have embedded drop downs inside of the main drop down, which can be confusing and problematic for students. However, the new nav bar has multiple drop down menus, but it's all very streamlined and it all fits without a more button. If you look at our previous courses in the transformation with course layout, it's standard and exactly what you would expect to see if any of you've used D2L LMS for any number of years. We had a lot of videos, documents, and things like that that were displayed in the course in that manner. The new course layout and format, you can see a more in-depth view of that new navigation bar at the top, really streamlined things and made it clean and simple. In addition, the new learner experience organized all those units much better. We also were able to leverage Creator Plus and HTML templates to actually embed content into the courses directly instead of having so many static PDFs, slide decks, and things of that nature. So now that our renovation is complete, we really would like to give you some key takeaways. First of which is you can transform your learning environment. Really working with the experts at D2L makes a big difference. And no matter if your challenges are big or small or anything in between, really you can transform your environment. The implementation package was absolutely beneficial for us. We needed the extra support and we knew that. And the team worked exceptionally well at D2L to really make it as robust of an experience as it could be. And our LAM was absolutely pivotal. We did not have an LMS admin for about 80 to 90% of the time we were doing this. So the LAM was absolutely crucial into helping with this project, but also making sure our current instance was still running the way it needed to, until we could switch over. It's important to ask your questions, even the ones that start with, this is kind of weird, but, or this might be a silly question. It doesn't matter. The more you ask your questions, the better D2L can help. And then we really did have to think outside the box and be adaptable. There were quite a few things where I thought, hey, it's going to go this way. And by the time we got done, nope, couldn't go that way. But we had to be open to being adaptable and thinking outside the box. So advice for everybody else. Using backward design principles is important. If you're going to take on this type of a project, see if you can figure out where is it you want to go? What is it you want to be able to do? Have that end goal in mind, then work backwards to actually design the LMS. However, you need to fix the foundation first. Just like a house is built on a foundation, so is the LMS. We could change everything that was student facing, but if our foundation on the back end wasn't working right, the org structure, those roles and permissions, then it didn't matter what we did for students because the back end wouldn't have been sustainable. So really fix your foundation first and then look at what are some of those enhancements you can make in your courses for students. And also, I can't stress enough, in this project and anything of this nature, partner with D2L. The customer service team, the solutions engineers, the consultants, they are all there to help. And without any one of those individuals or those groups, this project would not have been nearly as successful as it has been for us. If you have any questions or you'd like some more detail about this project and what we did, please feel free to contact either Luke or myself.